I just wanted to share why I'm so passionate around offering creative and calming practices for self-care and a little bit of my background. And then as the month continues on, I'll start sharing more about what are these creative and calming practices, and sharing some ways that you can help support yourself. I've been teaching art for about 10 years. I've always been an artist and I've always felt a really deep connection with the healing potential that having an art practice can have in someone's life, especially in my own life. And in 2010, I earned my MFA, and at that same time, I also was diagnosed with cancer. So I was treated for cancer a month before I graduated, and I had radiation the month after I graduated with my MFA. It was at that time when I really started discovering ways that art could be really nurturing and restorative for me on a much deeper level. So during radiation, I wasn't able to do some of the other art practices I was used to. So I discovered a form of intuitive collage called soul collage. I couldn't have electronics around me. I couldn't be around people. I was sort of secluded to my room, and I could touch paper and magazines. And so I journaled a lot, and then I also did this practice of soul collage. So I found it really deeply healing, and later became a soul collage facilitator, and I share that work now. I explored a lot of different ways that I could then come back into my body and reconnect to my breath, and really rediscover the safe place and safe space that I have that's called my body as home. I was certified as a trauma sensitive yoga teacher. I was trained as a restorative yoga teacher, trained in the art and yoga field, so expressive arts and yoga. I desire to share these practices with women especially who have a history of trauma, or who feel overwhelmed or stressed or have chronic pain or can't sleep. My desire is really rooted from a place of sharing practices that have been my practices for years. And I just really believe in the work, so I'm very inspired to share it. I work especially with women through women's circles, really holding space so we can connect in community and feel safe, but also sharing workshops in person, e-courses online, retreats and teacher trainings, all with this root of how can we touch into practices that help us to have more self-awareness, practices that help us to have more self-compassion, and practices that really help us to tap into ways we can have self-expression. And so I'll be sharing more as the month goes on, information about what I mean with those practices. Be kind, everyone is fighting their own battle. And so I share my story to say that I believe that we all have our own struggles, and it's part of our shared humanity, our shared experience as humans. And while our stories might be a little bit different, this root of this desire to want to be heard and to be seen and to be loved and to feel safe, that I believe is a core root for everyone. And so these practices that I feel so connected with sharing, again, help to tap into ways we can hold ourselves and be in community and be held also. So that's all I'll share for now, and I will see you guys later.